I just wanted to tell y'all today about my study abroad story. As many of you may or may not already know, I studied abroad in South Korea for 1 semester, but I just kind of wanted to tell the story of how that came to be. Growing up, I grew up in the suburbs. Even though I was in the suburbs, I still wasn't rich or well off really or anything like that. I usually lived in apartments, which is, I'm not saying, oh my god, I'm so poor. I'm just saying that for me, the idea of study abroad was this thing that rich people do, and I didn't really think of it as something that I could do, or even what I didn't even know that I wanted to do it growing up. And then when I got to college, I started meeting people from different backgrounds. I already had known people of many different ethnic backgrounds, but nationality-wise, almost everyone I've ever met up until high school was American. And so that means that we all generally shared the same nationality of, growing up and living only in America. But when I got to college, I met people who've actually lived other places, who actually have grown up other places, people with accents that I can't understand immediately, stuff like that. And I started getting really interested in the idea of foreign cultures. So I started studying Korean on my own. Why Korean? Just because I just really like Korean and I just thought it was a beautiful language, and I started teaching myself, and then I got into UT, and that's when I really started studying it in a structured classroom setting, etc. And that's when I really dedicated myself to getting to Korea and realized that, hey, Korea specifically is a culture that I would like to study about. So how did I get to study abroad in Korea? Basically, there were 3 things that aided me in that. One would be helpful study abroad advisors. Shout out to Mona Sied. I think that's how you say her name. She was my study abroad advisor at UT, and she really helped me to find a lot of scholarships, really plan out my trip, figure out what was gonna work for me. My actual school advisor, Joni, she really helped me just figure out what classes would work for me, what classes I could take while being abroad, etc. That was really great. Number 2 thing that helped me to study abroad was saving up money from working. All throughout college, I've always had a job, but usually it would just be my money from my job goes to rent, or my money from my job goes to shopping, hey. But I finally actually had to not go shopping, actually buckle down and save money, put stuff in my savings account every single paycheck, and through that I was able to save a good amount. And then the 3rd thing was scholarships. The number 1 scholarship that I got that helped me the most is called the Gilman scholarship. Would not have been able to study abroad if it was not for the Gilman scholarship. In case y'all are wondering why I keep looking down, I got notes. I made notes. I'm prepared for this video. But anyways, yes. This Gilman scholarship provided $3,000 for me to go study abroad, and they offer up to $5,000 scholarships, and especially applicants who are studying a critical need language while abroad in the country where that language is predominantly spoken can be considered for $8,000. $8,000. That means basically someone else who went to the same country that I did, Korea, to study Korean and wrote a better essay than I did and showed more need, could have gotten $8,000. I got $3,000 though, and I'm pretty happy about that because I was able to go. And the only requirements really are to be a Pell Grant recipient, and they're really looking for people who study in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math. But I mean, anyone can apply. I personally didn't study anything in the STEM fields. basically, as long as you're non-traditional studying, then you have a high likelihood of getting this scholarship. And by non-traditional, that means like if you're a humanities major, maybe don't go study in Italy or France because that's traditionally, what they do. But Italy and France are countries where everybody's going to study abroad. You need to study abroad somewhere where not as many people are going. So if you're studying medicine, maybe go study Chinese traditional medicine in China. Or if you're studying like chemistry, maybe consider like another country that had a significant like contribution to the development of chemistry in general, and go there and not just like the typical routes. And then you can get this scholarship. Like, it's not very difficult at all. In case you're wondering why I'm such a stan for this scholarship, the Gilman Scholarship, it's because thanks to that I was able to experience something that I literally thought was beyond reach for someone like me. Like, I didn't think that studying abroad was something that regular people do. I thought it was only something that really rich people do. And I did it. So everything like that, free money, there's a catch, right? Like, it's not really free. So now I want to tell you what I had to do to get the scholarship. Basically, I had to tell them my financial situation, show them that I actually have need for that, like, hey, I couldn't possibly go study abroad if you didn't give me money, kind of thing. I had to show that my study abroad program had a relationship to my educational goals and to my career goals. So just like explaining that relationship, even if there isn't actually a direct relationship, you just kind of make it sound like there is one, and that's how it works. Like, usually you'll find that made up reason that you thought of actually happens. Like, when you actually get there to the country, there will be things that will help you in your future education and in your like career goals, even if you didn't really realize that there were those things. And last of all, I had to make a promise of what I would do when I got back from my study abroad trip. Basically, it's just a couple of short essays, nothing too strenuous, not like 5-page essays. They were like really, I think 300 words, maybe 450 words, somewhere between there. As for the promise, I'm actually fulfilling it right now. So just by making this video, getting the word out about the Gilman Scholarship, I am fulfilling my promise. That was the promise that I made. I don't suggest that everyone make the same promise to make a YouTube video, because part of it is that you need to actually be getting the Gilman Scholarship's name out there. So like, I probably wouldn't be able to get this particular project approved if I wasn't able to argue that I would reach a certain number of people within their target audience, which is, college students who want to study abroad. I'm saying a whole lot of times. But basically, I just wanted to tell y'all about that. Like, even if they didn't ask me to do that, like, even if that wasn't a stipulation of my getting the scholarship, I would really still say, like, I need to make this video because basically it's really amazing. Korea is really far away from America. Korea is really far away from Texas, where I'm from. And I was able to study abroad there thanks to this scholarship. So I think everyone who ever thought about studying abroad, or even if you didn't think about it, I still think you should study abroad because it's amazing. So here's some images of Korea or something. I'll throw them in there. bye. What am I doing right now? I am trying to find a thumbnail image because a lot of the times my thumbnail images just don't look that good. So I'm trying to be pretty so that I can have a pretty thumbnail image. Pretty. Okay.